Shalom Aleichem. Thank you for joining us. We're in the Talmud Bavli, in Bava, Basra, 57b. In our previous Mishnah on the last page, we defined which activities in your fellow's courtyard give you a Chazaka, meaning I come up to you and say, what are you doing in this courtyard? Get out of here, you're trespassing. And you say, what are you talking about? I live here. I've been here for 3 years. Don't you see I've got my animal over there in my oven, my millstones for grinding my grain into flour, and over there that's my stove. Obviously, if I was trespassing here for 3 years, raising my chickens and dumping my manure, surely you would have said something before now. So get out of my face! I have a Chazaka! Well, in fact, according to our Mishnah, hey, Chazaka! None of these things actually acquire a Chazaka, because the owner of the property can say he never complained, because just by having your things in the courtyard wasn't causing any problem, no inconvenience to anyone. However, if you had partitioned anything off, like by putting up a fence around your animal, or your oven, or your stove, or your millstones, or if you had your chickens in the house, or if you dug a pit for your manure, or put something up around it, or a Chazaka, then you have a Chazaka, because then the owner would definitely complain if you were in fact intruding on the property. Okay, so that's all fine and dandy, but then the Gemara jumps in and asks the question, Ma'ishna Reisha, Ma'ishna Seifa, what's the difference between these two situations? If it's not your property, and you've got all this stuff here, sure, we would expect the owner to make a fuss about it. What's going on here? This Mishnah doesn't make any sense. So this guy Ula comes in and says, these activities stated in the Mishnah are defined by the acts of acquisition in the case of the property of a deceased convert. If a person becomes a Jew by conversion, but they have no Jewish relatives to inherit their property when they pass away, at that point the property is considered ownerless according to the Mishnah in 42a. Therefore, we learn that this ownerless property goes to the first person that makes any improvements on it. These activities are the same activities that establish a Chazaka or a Mishnah here regarding items in the courtyard, according to Ula's explanation. But Rav Shesha steps in and makes it pretty clear to us that it actually doesn't hold any water at all, and brings 2 examples to prove that we're comparing apples and oranges here. We've got 2 different situations with 2 completely different sets of criteria. So what's really going on here? So now that we've understood that it makes no sense, we come to today's Gemara. Ella, Amar Rav Nachman, Amar Rav Bava. Rather, Rav Nachman said in the name of Rabba, son of Avuha, Hacha b'chaser hatshutafin askinan. Here we're talking about a courtyard with multiple owners. In other words, several different neighbors are sharing a jointly owned community space. In such a situation, the other residents won't be expected to object if you just put stuff in the courtyard. However, on the Chitza, they will object to you sectioning off an area for yourself. So that's what this Mishnah is talking about. That if somebody had his things in the courtyard for 3 years with walls set up around them, we can assume that he had permission from his neighbors to do so, because he has the Chazaka. But then, the Gemara asks, Is it that they don't object to just placing stuff? Nice try, Rav Nachman, but you can go and tell Rabba Baramuha that we still can't be so sure. The Hatanan, since we learned in another Mishnah in the Darim 45b, Ashitafin Shanadru Hana Zamizah. How's about a situation where partners have made vows not to derive any benefit from each other? Asurin likanes lechatzer. It becomes forbidden for them to even set foot in the courtyard. So there, we could expect people to complain about you having your stuff there. So how do you explain that? Huh, Mr. Smarty Pants? Rabbi Chananya ben Akash Omer, Ritzah Kadosh Baruch Hu, Mizakodei Yisrael, Lefichach Yirba Lehem Torah U'Mitzvos, Shenemar Adonai Chafetz L'man Tzidko Yagil Torah Ve'adir.